Let's look at how IP is managed in universities. Now, first we need to understand what IP is. Intellectual property, in simple terms, refers to any original creative work which is a result of an intellectual process. In today's rapidly evolving landscape of creativity, we can see how artificial intelligence and machine learning plays a role. What is an intellectual process can be attributed to things that are done strictly by human beings. So, one way, though, there are issues being raised to how we could patent or protect the products that are coming out of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Currently, an intellectual process is confined to the products that come out of human creative labor. Now, the different types of IP, we have covered this in our earlier lessons. A patent can come out of a university, a trademark can come from a university project, copyright, materials that are created in the university can be protected by copyright, design, they could be design registrations from a university, topography of integrated circuits or semiconductor chips, they could be registrations for layout of integrated circuits. Plant varieties could be registered, especially by agricultural universities. Geographical indications usually refer to a right that is in common to a community. But we know instances where the universities have taken an initiative in getting certain GIs registered. And trade secrets could also come out of university work. A IPM cell in an academic institution of higher education would be constituted on these lines. Now, how an IPM cell is set up. This is a typical example of how it is done. And by IPM cell, we refer to the intellectual property management cell, or it could also be called the technology transfer office. The step one is to ensure that a committee of the institution, either on its own action or due to a government mandate, decides to set up the IPM cell. Now, the IPM cell does not come like a department in a university on its own. There has to be a conscious thought. So, it has to be set up by the institution, either by the head of the institution or by a committee. It can come by its own action, especially in private universities. We can see that it's largely internally driven, but it could also be mandated by the government because the government funds quite a lot for the work. The government could ensure that the publicly funded universities have an IPM cell in place. So the genesis of an IPM cell could be either internally driven or it could be through an external push. Now, the setup would involve a senior professor from the institution who is regarded as the head of the IPM cell. And this could be regardless of whether the person has actual intellectual property experience or not. There could be around 2 to 8 personnel who are inducted into the department. Now, we will get to what kind of tasks and functions the IPM cell does, but it could, in a setup, it could be between 2 to 8 people, it could be even more. And an IPR policy is drawn up. To have an IPM cell, it is not just the will to make one and the people, but there also the institute also needs to have an IPR policy, because the policy will dictate how the IPM cell will act, the functions of the IPM cell, the tasks that it needs to do. Now, the IPR policy is largely today developed looking at other institutions, either Indian or foreign. The IPM cell may also be called the Technology Transfer Office, TTO, Technology Commercialization Office, Technology Licensing Department. It can have different names. It can be called the Patent Cell, it can be called the Intellectual Property Cell, so IPR Cell, so it can have different names. But the objective of this body is to protect, develop, identify, and commercialize intellectual property that comes out of the university. Now, let's look at the core functions of an IPM cell. Educating its staff and students on the concepts regarding to intellectual property rights, the law and procedure for securing intellectual property rights. So educating is a function that is done by the IPM cell. Promoting and encouraging IP generation. There's quite a lot of promotion and advocacy that happens through the IPM cell. Hiring and appointing personnel and contracting with professionals and professional institutions such as lawyers, IP attorneys, search providers to outsource one or more of these operations and paying and honoring their invoices and bill as per contracted terms and tariffs. Now, this tells the administrative function of the IPM cell. The IPM cell should be seen as a conduit. It's a conduit, or it is a connection between the university, the people who work in the university, and the external service providers. Because the patent, though it can be filed online, requires a patent agent. It requires professionals who can help you in drafting. It requires professionals who can help you in searching whether the invention has already fallen into the prior art or whether it is novel. So the IPM cell acts as the body that connects the university to the professionals outside it, taking responsibility of the administrative and the financial aspects of running the IPM cell. One, of accepting or rejecting or validating and processing, filing, prosecuting, and maintaining the intellectual property as per the relevant laws. So this is another function of the IPM cell. Now, mediating between industry and the institute is also another function of the IPM cell, because the IPM cell acts as a body that can bring the industry, and sometimes what the institute has done, the university has done, may not be completely in sync with what the industry is looking for. So there may be some rough edges to be polished, some tweaking to be done. So this becomes the voice through which the industry's concerns are relayed to the institute, that the professor and the team, and the institute's concern are relayed back to the industry. Facilitating technology transfer. This is done largely by licensing or assigning, which is a sale of the IP. Maintaining records, because as we have seen, the IPs that require registration also require constant renewal. Patents are kept for 20 years, designs for 15 years, trademarks have to be kept renewed at regular intervals. So this requires record keeping. So maintaining records, generating management information and statistics for analysis and reporting is another function. Now, though academic institutions generate more than one type of IP, we know instances where they generate patents, copyright, designs, trademark, and new plant varieties. The quantity and quality of patents they file for and obtain are considered as the measure of innovative activity. Now we will see this when we look at the ranking of universities, how it is tied to patenting. Now here is a snapshot of the patent life, because this becomes the main activity of the IPM cell, managing patents. Now patents are filed. After a time period they are published. So filing, they have to keep record of every action pertaining to filing and the actions that happen before the filing. For instance, coordinating with the third party, getting a disclosure that is searchable from the professor or the research team, coordinating between the person who drafts the patent and the professor. There's quite a lot of work that the IPM cell does even before the filing. So after the filing, it has to monitor the filing. It has to look at when the publication happens. It has to monitor the publication. When it gets into examination, the patent office issues an FER, the first examination report, which gives just 6 months or at best 9 months to reply. So it has to coordinate with the professional to generate the reply to the FER, which may require technical inputs from the university professors. The response has to be filed on time. It may lead to a rejection or a grant. If it leads to a rejection, it should explore the options to take the matter in appeal. And if it results in a grant, to maintain it, or if it's not accruing revenue, then at some point to leave it to lapse and keep this record up until the term expires or the patent is revoked. So you can see that even if it is one patent, the IPM cell needs to keep track of it for 20 years. And there are different deadlines that falls in between. Now let's look at an example of how one of the IITs from where I am from, IIT Madras, looks at the patenting process through their IPM cell. Now the IPM cell, the core functions, let's look at the step, infrastructure and the human resource involved. Now they conduct various campaigns and advocacy around IP, what we call IP awareness and education. This is one of the functions that we identified. This is done through lectures, workshops, and interactions between the research scholars. The IPM cell may itself do it, and in institutes where an IPR chair professor is there, which is there for some institutes in India, then it is done by the chair professor. Now, the creative work that emanates from the students and the faculty members, the IPM cell requires them to fill an IDF, which is an invention disclosure form, which is usually found in the institute's website. And once the form is filled, the clerical staff receive the form, they docket the IDF, and they internally develop system that facilitates archival, retrieval, and analysis and reporting. The inventors are encouraged to carry out the first level preliminary due diligence check for novelty and inventive step at the IPM cell. Now the IPM cell relies on free and paid databases like Google Scholar and Google Patents, which are free, and the paid databases like Questral, Orbit, Thomson Innovation, IEEE Innovation, Q+, etc. Now the search is normally done in-house. The analysts who work within the team are trained, and they help the inventors navigate and use patent and non-patent databases to ascertain patentability. It's preferable that the IPM cell employs people and trains them, or finds people who are trained to do search in the market, because search is going to be their biggest technical activity that they will be doing. Because the IPM cell may not involve itself in drafting and filing, but search is the first level at which the IPM cell can facilitate whether there is an invention that is patentable. So if the IPM cell has independent skill and talent, it'll be much easier and cost effective than outsourcing the search, every search that could come from the university. Now the inventors are then encouraged to discuss in confidence the result of the patentability search with a qualified or a competent IP professional. Now the IDF is referred to an in-house attorney, and after the preliminary discussions, a decision is taken whether to file a patent and how to file the patent. In some cases where a disclosure is going to be made quickly, then the option could be to file a provisional. In other cases, it would be the complete itself. If the IPM cell has an in-house patent agent, then the filing of the provisional can be done in-house itself. Now, if there is a strong case of novelty and inventiveness that is made out, then a decision to file a patent will be made. The IDF is then referred to a law firm which does IP filing services, and approval for costs of filing are given. Usually there is a panel of IP service providers with the institute, and one of the firms from the panel is identified for a particular task. Then the IP service professionals interact with the inventors to finalize and file the patent. A confirmation of filing the patent application is submitted to the IPM cell along with the bill for professional and statutory fees, and the person in charge checks the billed amount against the contract rates that have been agreed. The billed amount could broadly include the fee for prior art search, drafting and filing fees, prosecution fees, which is what we call office action, when an FER is raised, filing a reply to the FER, that would be different. Records are maintained as hard and soft copies for auditing, management information system and reporting purposes. Now, continuing with the core functions of IPM Cell, after filing a patent, marketing efforts are initiated. The idea of filing a patent is to eventually commercialize it. So, an expert opinion, including a techno-commercial evaluation, is sought in some cases. Preferably, this is done by a third-party evaluation, and it is coordinated by the marketing team and the operations team of the IPM Cell. Now, if the inventor wants to file the patent in a foreign country, then the inventor has to request for a foreign filing. An international patent committee looks into this and takes a decision on whether to file an international application simply because of the cost involved. An Indian application is filed and then referred to a law firm for filing in different jurisdictions. The inventors are required to provide details such as stage of development of the technology and invention and whether or not a prototype has been tested. This is after the filing of the application because the institute is always interested in knowing how its patents are being commercialized. Now, there are specific forms that has to be filled by the inventors which would tell how to market the invention. The marketing team of the IPM Cell does the hand-holding to ensure that the invention is taken to the market. The IPM Cell also prepares a write-up called the value proposition based on the inputs from the inventors. And based on the value proposition, different types of dissemination is undertaken. The invention or details about the invention could be put on the technology transfer website if the university has one. Letters are written, emails are sent, contracts are explored to ensure that the invention reaches a larger set of prospective buyers. After the patent is granted, the maintenance fee has to be paid, and in the Indian system, like most patent offices, the renewal fee increases as the years go by. Now, this is deliberately structured in such a way that people would abandon inventions that are not generating revenue. So, if an invention has not been marketed, there is a time period until which the university will support the invention, and beyond that, the university may abandon it or it would ask the concerned researcher or the professor to take the invention at their own cost. Now, in India, there are certain statutory requirements like Form 27, which is a working statement. So, the IPM Cell also takes care of that. It has to be regularly filed, so that responsibility falls on the IPM Cell as well. Now, with regard to staffing, it is a matter of choice depending on how much people the IPM Cell needs. So, level 1 staff would be a department head who is either qualified as a patent attorney or an examiner with 5 years experience. They could be a marketing professional with 7 to 10 year experience who would do the marketing side. Level 2 staff are people who have skill on prior art search and who can do marketing, who can do the administrative work. They could be one patent agent or an attorney. They could also be a cost accountant. Now, level 3 staff could be an individual for say hundreds of patents that is filed, who can do the data capture, archival, retrieval and correspondence. With regard to equipment, a decent prior art database subscription to cover patent and non-patent databases for the last 50 years would be preferable. Because of the scale, there has to be a comprehensive docketing, archival, retrieval, and there should be a process for keeping all the email and the correspondence that has been sent by the IPM Cell to different stakeholders. What we call basic office automation. Now, there are forms that the IPM Cell will need. The most important form is the Invention Disclosure Form. The IDF comprises of a set of questions required by inventors to answer with a view to capture the following: the description of the invention, its novel and inventive aspects, name and address of the inventor, the inventive contribution, if there are multiple inventors, in what ratio they contributed, whether it's been funded by any government or external or other funding agency, whether the invention was developed by involvement of external agencies or entities. And to have a look at an invention declaration form, you can go to this link, which is the ICSR web link at iitm.ac.in. And they could also be NDAs and or non-disclosure agreements, which could be used as a template. Now, this is what the ICSR website covers. They have the IPR policy, they have an incubation policy, they have tech transfer and royalty details, they have detail with regard to sale of software, they have procedure for filing an Indian patent, procedure for filing a foreign application, what we call the PCT, and they have different forms. They also have templates of agreements, for instance, various agreements like a joint venture or a joint collaborative research, joint development of technology, industrial consultancy, interinstitutional agreement, technology licensing agreement. So depending on the routine forms that are required, the IPM cell can also have template forms. So the templates can be used by the IPM cell for customizing it on a case-to-case basis.